Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble HEROIC campaign guide, I'm going to show you how to defeat Inquisitor Whitemane in Lordaeron with all families. Personally, I find Whitemane one of the more annoying encounters because there's Whitemane and then there's Mograine, and both of these need to die almost at the same time, not exactly but almost at the same time, because annoyingly, when Mograine dies, Whitemane is going to resurrect Mograine. And when Whitemane goes really low, Mograine is going to shield Whitemane and make Whitemane immune. Because of this dynamic that Mograine dies, that means that if your minis are hitting at Mograine dies, then your minis will move over to Whitemane. However, Whitemane gets shielded when she goes low, so your minis will keep hitting at her even though they cannot deal any damage. They will not move over to Mograine. So therefore, the strategy that I have devised for this one is actually a slow-ish push from here towards Mograine, get some unbounds on Whitemane, kill Mograine, have these minis that are at Mograine go over to Whitemane, and together with your unbounds kill Whitemane before Whitemane is able to resurrect Mograine. That's basically the strategy, and that's something that I just repeat with every family. There is a fair bit of leeway when it comes to your armies, but this is the army that I like the most. I'm using Worgen, Safe Pilot, Prowler, Chimera, Earth Elemental, and Quillbore. So what do I need? I need something that tanks Mograine. Earth Elemental tanks Mograine. I need something that tanks Whitemane. Quillbore tanks Whitemane, so armored for Mograine, resistant for Whitemane. I need something that deals a bunch of damage to Mograine and kills it. I have Chimera and I have Prowler. And I need something that's unbound and is going to deal a bunch of damage to Whitemane while my main assault is punching at Mograine, and therefore I have Worgen. And then I have Safe Pilot, just generally useful, dealing damage pretty much wherever needed. If I would have to pick one essential mini for this encounter, then that would be the Prowler, because Prowler deals a lot of DPS, Prowler kills Mograine, and then it charges at Whitemane, so it gets to do a lot of DPS at Whitemane also, and that's just a phenomenal thing to have here. But this is the arm that I like the most. This is what I use when the slots are aligned properly. So for example, I use the exact same army with beasts as well, but it is possible to make some alterations as well. So for Blackrock, in order to get 2 Blackrock minis into this one, I did the Safe Pilot and I added Whalepex, and that also works. As usual, Horde is the trickiest because the Horde army slots are just the weakest army slots there are. For example, this is what I did it with Horde. So let's see, what do I have? Do I have something that tanks Mograine? I have, this time it's the Warsong Raider. Do I have something that tanks Whitemane? Yeah, I have a Quillbore. Do I have some DPS on Mograine? Yeah, I have Chimera and I have Prowler. Do I have some unbound DPS for Whitemane? Yep, we have a Skeleton Body. And then there's that one little bit of a flex slot, and that one is a Batrider. Batrider can also help defend your base a little bit, killing some footmen and maybe even do some damage. So doable even with Horde with the same basic concept, even though I had to change some minis because of the way the army slots function. And finally the Undead army. And here again, do I have something that tanks Mograine? Yeah, this time I have a Ghoul actually to do that. Something that tanks Whitemane? Yeah, Quillbore. Quillbore is really good here. Some DPS for Mograine? Yep, I have Prowler and I have Chimera. Some DPS, unbound DPS for Whitemane? Yeah, there's the Skeleton Party. And in the flex slot, I here have the Batrider. So you get the general idea what you need in your army to succeed in this one. And in the gameplay footage, you will see all of these clears and you get a bit of a better understanding of the timings and the general strategy. So let's take a look at this in action. So opening up with Alliance, what do I get in my opening hand? Nothing too much. I had to cycle the Kobold real quick. I get the Chimera out there. Chimera is good at killing the footmen, and I mean Fire Elemental is resistant, but it's fine. I used the Quillbore to grab the stone real quick and prevent some reinforcements from coming. Now I'm sending the Prowler out there because I want these to attack Mograine, and then Earth Elemental. So now I have Earth Elemental, Prowler, Quillbore at Mograine. I'm sending a Miner to grab some gold. My only worry here is that is there too much stuff coming, because there's a pretty decent attack coming at my base. So I'm a little worried that my base might fall here before I get the kill. So that's why I used Safe Pilot there to defend. I could have had Flameburst Whalepex, for example, there as well. But anyway, now we got Mograine down and we're on Whitemane. We have the Worgen, we have the Prowler, we have some other minis hitting, and yeah, and that's the strategy. That's the plan. Okay, so that was fun. Let's do that again with beasts. I'm sending the Quillboar to grab the stone. That allows me to get the Chimera. Chimera is going to stop this initial assault. And then I'm waiting a little bit. I'm trying to get the Prowler to just attack instead of wasting time at the Fire Elemental. And I also want to get my miner out there. I want that extra gold. There's going to be 2 gold that the miner will mine from there. I hope at least. So Earth Elemental starts tanking. Yeah, that's 2 gold. And now we can get the Quillboar and we can get the Worgen. So we get the assault on Whitemane. We're doing good assault on Mograine. And I might even send more Prowlers now. Why not? Why not send more Prowlers? Because Prowler is really, really strong here. As you can soon see, like, look, Mograine fell, and look at those Prowlers. They are charging at Whitemane and they're dealing so much damage. Boom. For Blackrock, I have now changed the save pilot for the well pegs, because I couldn't get a bonus slot for the save pilot. And again, pretty much the same idea. We're getting the Chimera out there. I don't want to spend other minis on fighting that Fire Elemental and the Footman. Then I want to mine, and I might spend Wellpex doing a little bit of defense, just buying a little bit of time. You may need to buy a little bit of time. It depends on your level of your minis and the opening hand of the AI a little bit. Sometimes I even used Chimera to fight against the early push, but now we're doing this. I want to position the Worgen and the Quillboar at the far side, at the top, so that they don't get into combat with the other minis so easily. Here we're using those Wellpecks also to defend a little bit, and look at that. We have the Worgen pushing, we have the Prowler dealing so much damage again, and boom, dead again. Then it is Horde time. Horde is quite annoying because Horde typically has the weakest army slots, so I have to improvise a little bit here. But anyway, I get the Batrider out there. Alright, I also cannot find my Chimera. Well, some downsides. Waiting a little bit so that the Raider at least will start pushing. So the Raider will go to an assault. Finally, I find the Chimera at the very bottom. Now I am slightly concerned. But I guess the hunters will die to the base pretty quickly, and the footmen might not even reach the base. I do use a Batrider as soon as the hunter commits to attacking the base, so then the Batrider can start shooting at the footmen and be safe there. Okay, now I need to get I needed to get the skeleton party out there first before the Quillboar, because I needed to start getting damage in, and now we have that. We have the Prowler in, we have the Warsong Raider, and just barely able to pull that one off. Phew. Finally, the Undead kill. I ended up doing this with Sylvanas. Probably not the strongest choice. I would actually prefer Baron or something, but I didn't want to reroll my army slots for those, and Sylvanas had slots that I could already use. Yeah, a little bit on saving line here. Anyway, here you can see that the footmen were pushing so early, and I now use the Chimera to defend against the first push. And only then we're going to start attacking. Also now I have Ghoul as a tank, and Ghoul is slow, so I need a little bit of time there. Ghoul is not a tremendously good tank either, but at least tanked enough so that the Drake didn't kill my Chimera. So okay, I still believe. And now I can get the Quillboar out there, and I can get the Skeleton Party position at the top, so that they don't attract any unwanted attention. Now we have some stuff. Quillboar can tank Mograine for ages, Whitemane for ages, and here we go in. One Chimera survived, that's good. And we're pushing in, but actually that Fire Elemental now ruined everything, and I was unable to finish the job. What to do now? Well, sometimes if you're unable to finish the job, depending on what sort of defense you have had, then you might just have to restart. But here, I actually take a look at my base and I see, okay, well, my base is actually doing pretty well. There's no worries here. We can just do it again. And this time we also have a lot of damage already on Whitemane. So if we can get Mograine down, it should be reasonably simple to get Whitemane down afterwards. So here we go. This time I'm using Quillboar to tank Mograine, which is far from ideal. But I just needed something to tank that. Alright, and now I'm thinking what to play out there. I'm going for a Chimera. Chimera deals a lot of damage, and alright, now we're in this bit of a weird spot where we have dealt a bunch of damage to both leaders, but again our assault failed. Well, sometimes this is the end and it's a restart, but I take a look at my base and I say, okay, my base is actually still doing extremely well. So, and I even have the stone. So, what is there not to like? Let's just do it again. And here we go, another push. Come on, this time for sure. Prowler just doing a splendid job against Mograine. And Mograine falls. And this time Whitemane is quite low when the battle begins. Skeleton Party, Prowler, and boom. It's a victory. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.